Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group. What I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here I have the 2024 Honda Civic. Now we'll look at the interior, the exterior, some of the specifics of this trim, and we'll go for a little spin around to see what we think. Okay, so now we're behind the wheel of this Honda Civic, and this one is the hatchback in the LX trim. So there's a few different trim levels or different options. We'll kind of focus on the one we have here today, but let's go for a spin around. Now, one of the first things when I hopped into the car, this has the Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto integrated in. So you can plug it in through the USB, keeps your phone charged up, and you have the use and ease of the Apple CarPlay. It's got your Spotify, your Google Maps in there, and there's a little voice control button on the steering wheel, so you can use Siri for texting or anything else that you regularly use it for, which is pretty great. Now, the infotainment screen also is going to house a backup camera. So that's a multi-view camera, so there's a little thing you can click to kind of look straight down or see the curb, or if you're getting kind of close to something when you're parking, that is a pretty cool feature as well in there. Now, besides that, the infotainment screen is pretty basic. It's not anything really too distracting. It's not a humongous screen, and I like that because it keeps you focused on the road ahead. Now, there is also a lot of safety built into this vehicle. Now, the LX trim is going to get a lane departure and a road mitigation system, as well as a few other safety features to help keep you, and maybe if your family's in the vehicle, very safe when you're on the road. Now, that can be controlled through this little center cluster here. So your gauge cluster is going to be digital on the side over here, which is really neat because it'll show you your average fuel economy. When you click the little home button, you can go through your range and fuel, speed and time, some of those safety settings like I mentioned, as well as a handful of other things, which is great because that's keeping your attention forward and not on the infotainment screen or down messing with your phone. Now, this one will have automatic headlights as well as automatic up-down for the driver and the passenger windows. So there is a few niceties in here, and one thing I did notice is just how comfortable the seats are. So I like it's kind of almost an old school pattern that runs through the seats, and this driver's seat is really comfortable. You can kind of move it up and down, and obviously it'll slide forward and back, and then you do have a tilt and telescopic steering wheel. So as you work your way up through the lineup, obviously you can get different materials for the seats or the leather wrap shift knob and steering wheel combo. But again, the LX is just kind of a base model that's going to keep the price down and get you great fuel economy. Now, speaking of that, this one will have the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. So that's going to get you about 158 horsepower and be good for 38 miles per gallon on the highway. So I think it's something like the average new car price in the US right now is over $40,000. So this one's going to come in around the mid to high 20 range, depending on how you load one up. So keeping that price down and keeping your fuel economy up is a great way to save a little bit of dough, whether it's at the pump or just when you first purchase a vehicle. Now, this vehicle does have some great rear legroom. This is the hatchback version, like I said. So for a small sedan, I was impressed. I sat in the back seat, and you know, it's obviously going to be a little bit tight, and if you needed a little more room, you can maybe hop up to the Accord. But I think for the hatchback, I was pleasantly surprised. I'm 6'1", I had plenty of headspace, and I had knee room back there as well. Then, with this version being the hatchback and not the standard sedan, you do get a little bit of added cargo space. So you can open the hatch, and there's this cool little kind of cargo cover that's up in the glass, and then one that pulls across as well. So you can keep your stuff out of plain sight. So if you've got any stuff you don't want people looking at, it's going to keep things hidden away, whether that's your bags if you're on a road trip or anything else. Then if you do need a little bit of extra space, if you're hauling something around and not people, those seats are 60-40 split. So they'll knock down, and you do actually get a surprising amount of room with the hatchback. So what do I think overall ride and drive? This is a terrible road I'm on right now. You can maybe tell it's a little bit bouncy, but I mean, it's great. It's very compliant when you're on the road. You think, oh, it's just kind of the base model, it's the cheaper one, it doesn't, you know, have a great ride and drive or no power, but if you put your foot down, you can hear it winds up. There's more than enough juice to get you moved out into traffic, whether you're merchant on the highway, or if you're looking to maybe save a little bit, there's an Econ button here. So when I click that, you hear it beep on, and that's gonna help you save even more gas and help you be a little bit more efficient in your driving style. It also will have auto start stop. So when you come to a stop, it's gonna go dead silent. So if it's not maybe overpowering or running the AC or the heater, it's gonna shut off to help you save a little bit of gas there. So overall, the Honda Civic hatchback and the LX trim, like I said, it's gonna keep the price down, which is one of the great things, but you still get a lot of features and equipment in here. Adaptive cruise control, the Apple CarPlay. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff to like about the Honda Civic hatchback. Whether you're using it for a day-to-day shooter or if you're looking to get the family in here, it is possible with a little bit of space, and you can fold down just one seat if you'd like, which is gonna help also there. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff to like about the Honda Civic, and I think if you're in the market for a new car, it's worth getting out, taking one for a spin, and seeing what you think. So that was just a brief look and drive in the all-new Honda Civic. Now, if you have any questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive for yourself, you can visit us online at walserhonda.com or stop by anytime. We'd be happy to help you out. Thanks again for watching.